Most people enter their 20s believing they're supposed to have life figured out. The perfect career path, the right habits, the right relationships, and a long-term plan. But the truth is, your 20s are not a deadline. They're a developmental window. According to research on emerging adulthood, this decade is literally designed for exploration, skill building, and reshaping your identity. And the people who use this period intentionally, rather than anxiously, end up with stronger careers, healthier relationships, better mental resilience, and far more opportunities later on. But there's a problem. Many young adults carry two beliefs that quietly sabotage their growth. The first is the fear that if you haven't found your passion by 25, you're behind. The second is the belief that skill is mostly talent, that you are either naturally good at something or you aren't. Psychological research challenges both. Studies on deliberate practice, led by Kay Anders Ericsson, show that high performance is rarely about talent. It's about structured learning, feedback, and consistent practice. And Carol Dweck's work on growth mindset demonstrates that people who believe skills are learned, not fixed, improve significantly more over time. When you remove the pressure to be naturally gifted, you finally give yourself permission to grow. So, what are the skills that actually matter in your 20s? What are the habits that create lifelong momentum, no matter what career or path you choose? Today, we're going to walk through 5 science-backed skills that make the biggest difference. These aren't vague ideas. Each one includes a practical, simple action you can begin this week. These skills compound, and the earlier you start, the stronger the effects. The first essential skill is learning how to learn, also called meta-learning. This is the foundation of every skill you will ever acquire. In a world that changes this fast, your ability to learn quickly is more valuable than any single qualification. Meta-learning means understanding how your brain absorbs information, how to structure your study, and how to turn knowledge into skill. One of the most effective techniques is the Feynman technique. Take a concept you want to understand and explain it in simple words as if you're teaching someone with no background knowledge. When you get stuck, that gap tells you exactly where you need to learn more. This process turns passive learning into active mastery. If you practice it with any topic, coding, psychology, finance, communication, you'll learn twice as fast with half the frustration. In your 20s, mastering how to learn is more important than mastering any one field. The second essential skill is self-regulation, or the ability to control your daily habits and emotional responses. Most of the progress you make in your 20s won't come from big breakthroughs. It will come from tiny habits repeated consistently. But building habits isn't just about motivation, it's a psychological skill. Research on habit formation shows that small, low-resistance behaviors are far more powerful than dramatic goals. Start with something that takes 2 minutes. Read 2 minutes. Journal for 2 minutes. Practice a language for 2 minutes. What matters is not the size of the action, but the identity you reinforce. I am someone who shows up every day. Once consistency is established, you can scale the habit. Self-regulation is the difference between people who rely on motivation and people who rely on systems. In your 20s, systems win. The third skill you must build is communication. Not just speaking clearly, but listening deeply, writing well, and receiving feedback without defensiveness. Strong communication is the fastest career accelerator. You can be talented, intelligent, and hardworking, but if you can't express your ideas or collaborate effectively, your potential stays hidden. Communication affects your relationships too. Your ability to resolve conflict, express boundaries, and understand others makes the difference between healthy connections and constant frustration. The most effective practice is simple. Once a week, record a short video explaining a problem you solved or an idea you care about. Watch it back, notice where you hesitate or ramble, and record it again with more clarity. This builds self-awareness, conciseness, and confidence. When you can communicate well, every other skill becomes more valuable. The fourth skill is financial literacy. You don't need to become an expert investor in your 20s, but you do need to understand how money works. And more importantly, how your behaviors shape future options. A basic understanding of budgeting, saving, debt, and compound interest is life-changing. Most people underestimate how small financial habits grow over time. Saving even 1 to 5% of your income builds an emergency fund that protects you from chaos. Learning one investing principle per week builds confidence. And creating a simple budget, not a complicated one, helps you see where your choices are aligned with your goals and where they aren't. Financial skills are not just about making money. They're about avoiding traps that steal freedom. When you master the basics early, the rest of your life becomes dramatically easier. The fifth essential skill is building social capital, or in simple terms, relationships. Not shallow networking, not collecting contacts. Real, meaningful connections that create opportunities, support, and long-term growth. Research consistently shows that most job opportunities, promotions, collaborations, and major life changes come through relationships, not resumes. And in your 20s, the easiest way to build social capital is to be genuinely curious about people. Each week, reach out to one person you admire, a creator, a coworker, a professional, a mentor, with a short message asking a thoughtful question. Don't ask for anything big. Don't attach your resume. Ask something they can answer in 1 minute. When you follow up politely and consistently, you build a network based on value, not pressure. These connections compound over the years and shape your future more than you realize. Now, here's the important part. All 5 of these skills connect. Meta-learning helps you learn faster. Self-regulation helps you practice consistently. Communication helps you express and share what you learn. Financial literacy gives you stability. Social capital opens doors. And underlying all of them is a growth mindset, the belief that skills come from practice, not perfection. When you combine these, you become adaptable, confident, and resilient. You stop comparing yourself to others and start building your own trajectory. Your 20s are not a test you pass or fail, they're a laboratory, a place to experiment, learn, make mistakes, and grow. If you adopt these 5 skills now, you will look back at this decade not with regret, but with gratitude for the foundation you built. If this message inspired you, tell me in the comments. Which skill do you want to start practicing this week? And if you want more science-backed videos on personal development, mindset, and career growth, make sure you subscribe. You're building a life, not rushing toward one. Keep going. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.